slower than the everyday consciousness level of beta. Offers more the meditative state. Turn your eyes upwards and see if you can have a sense of light. If you have your eyes forward, you may see more darkness or redness if the sun's coming through your eyelids. If you have your eyes up, you may automatically get a little bit more sense of light. And then look even farther up with your eyes, as if you're looking above your head. Now, of course, your eyes don't really turn that way, but I guarantee it can feel as if they do, as if you're looking up at that point above your head. And just keep looking farther and farther up, and imagining that as you look farther up, you're going to higher levels of your aura. We have chakras, those energy whirls of our consciousness that relate to different aspects of ourselves above our head as well as in our body. You're moving up to higher and higher chakras as you look up with your eyes. And as you do that, you're integrating your awareness with a larger aspect of your aura, which goes farther out into your expanded state of awareness, the sense of who you are, what you identify with. So identify with the part of yourself that's big and bright and all-knowing as much as possible. The part of yourself that may not always communicate all of its messages specifically to your regular self in ways that you fully understand. This is what I call lucidity, continuity of consciousness that allows you to ask questions and get answers from the different levels of yourself for them to communicate with each other and have that sense of being bright and clear, your own aura clear so that you can see clearly through it and you're not seeing through cloudiness, which distorts what you're looking at. And it's helpful to get a sense of what your own aura looks like so you don't see your own aura when you're looking at someone else and think you're seeing theirs. You can get into that later. So turn your eyes upwards, and as you go up, imagine that you're going into more and more blissful, euphoric, elated states of consciousness. Smile. You might want to imagine a glove of light, like plastic gloves that don't let anything through. Protective. Not just light, but protective light. Imagine what you visualize can actually be there and can even be seen by others. You may want to imagine that you're like a duck that has oil on its back, and so it doesn't get the water through that oil. So you can be like a duck with water, with water on one side and oil on the other, and there's no combining the two. You may want to picture that magnetic repulsion so that you're sending outwards energy very strongly and not allowing energy to come back in. There are many methods that you might use for seeing what in yourself would allow you to pick up their energy. One would be looking back into your life and thinking, did you ever have a period in your formative years when you were taught to take on the pain of others? This most often happens with parents. For example, if your mother was mistreated by your father and she complained to you about it, and you were there for her to listen, and you identified with your mother, you identified with her pain, the things that were being done to her that she didn't like were probably being transferred a bit to you, and that became your role. If you didn't do that, you might even not have as much of likelihood of wanting to heal. So people who are healers by intent often have this kind of problem. If you don't, that's fantastic, and I congratulate you. So you can go back into a period like that you may have been trained to not have a strong ego boundary, to allow others to have their needs come before yours. And maybe with hypnosis or self-hypnosis, or just going back in meditation, and rewrite that. Imagine, what would it have been like if it had not been that way? What would you have done if you had said, I can't listen right now, I've listened enough and I need to go do something else. This is making me tired, this is draining my energy, this is not giving me enough time to do what I need to do, this is putting me in a position that a child shouldn't be in. Now you may not be able to say those things as a child, you may just say something completely childish and go away. But what if you had done that and not just been there for that person, if that was your particular case, for example? Imagine you at that time and then progress through until your present moment. Imagine your gestures, your expressions, your tone of voice, the kind of people you would associate with in your life. Imagine everything about your stance, the way you would walk, your handwriting. What would you be like? And use that as an alternate reality to draw from. Because you are that big, bright light. Consciousness pulsating out of the moment. You are spirit coming into the present moment. Quantumly being here now. And the present influences the past, according to quantum physics. So, the past is good to remember as it was. It's a little insane to forget it and think it was something else sometimes, but you can think of having an alternate past, a parallel reality in a sense, that you could have drawn on. What if kind of a reality? Because why make yourself be stuck with that linear past? Why say that has to be what taught you and there's no changing it? You can change that. In some cases, it's easier said than done, once again, and some things you may never change, but some things you may be able to. And just by imagining yourself in that sense of strength and boundaries, that can help you to some degree with protecting yourself and healing. Loving yourself and inhabiting your body, not being in the world of TV or make-believe or something, but when you're doing the healing, really taking time to ground into your physical body, your personality, who you are, the earth. Touching the actual earth is very grounding, with your bare feet, with your hands, touching earthly objects, sand, rocks, salt, even eating food. And drinking water. The more you do healing work, the more water you use up.